सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om. So today we are going to see an overview of schools of philosophy, different schools of philosophy, what are famously known in Indian culture as darshanas. Now, this philosophy word is not new to us, actually speaking, isn't it? We have heard this word many times, we have used this word also many times. We say, this is my philosophy of life, this is that person's philosophy of life, isn't it? We have often used it, but we have not understood, or probably have not understood as a discipline. Philosophy as a discipline is a very structured science. In Indian culture, we had seen that there are 14 or 18 places of knowledge, what are called as Vidyasthana, right? Chaturdasha Vidyasthana or Ashtadasha Vidyasthana. We were seeing that. We saw 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upavedas, then Purana, which includes Ityasa, Dharma Shastra. These 16 things we had seen. And last 2, Mimamsa and Nyaya, were related to Darshana. So that's what we are seeing now. Now all of them are called as Shastra. So let us first understand this word Shastra and then we will proceed with the Darshana. Shastra word, its etymological meaning is 2 ways it can be broken. Shastra. So Shasanat Trayate iti Shastram. Shasanat Trayate. Trayate, that which protects. That which protects me, Shasanat, by instructing. That is called as Shastra. What do you mean by that? So there will be sometimes do's and don'ts given. That you should do like this, you should not do like this. Why? To protect myself and to protect the world around me. So that is called as Shastra. A text which tells me this is called as Shastra. Therefore, we have many texts like that. Even Vedas also, many portions of the Vedas are instructing us. Do's and don'ts are given. Satyam vada, dharmam chara. Do this, do speak truth. Dharmam chara, walk the path of righteousness. Swadhyayat ma pramadaha. Do not neglect your self-study. Do not neglect reading the portion of the Veda daily. So do's and don'ts, that becomes Shastra. Second meaning of word Shastra is Shamsanat Trayate iti Shastram. Shamsanat. Trayate is same. Trayate means that which protects me. Shamsanat, by giving me knowledge, by teaching. Shas dhatu is both ways. It can mean shasana, it can mean shamsana. Shamsana trayate means that which protects me by teaching something. So it is not telling me do this or do that. It is telling me this is what it is. Then what? Then automatically I bring a change in my life and I am protected. So Shastra has got these two facets. One, where it instructs us how to live life. What should we do, what we should not do. And second, it gives me knowledge. Now, roughly we can also say that Karmakanda's portion of Veda is doing the first job. It gives me instructions. Jnanakanda portion of Vedas gives me knowledge. And therefore Veda is a Shastra. So too, all the other texts that we saw, Upavedas, we saw Puranas, Itihasas, Dharma Shastras, all of them are Shastras. Right? Now, in that complete, what we say, umbrella of Shastra, now we are entering into one very important phase or important portion called Darshana Shastra. Darshana Shastra, philosophy, what we say. What do you mean by Darshana? Darshana also word comes from root Drish. Drish means prekshane, to see. To that when pratyaya is added, Darshana means that which helps me to see. That which causes right seeing, right perception is called as Darshana. Darshana is that which helps me to see the truth. To see the truth of what? To see the truth of the world around me, to see the truth about myself, to see the truth about the science or scripture that I am studying. Darshana, many times people call it as a view, vision of life. The way we look at scriptures, that's how some people also define Darshana. But basically Darshana is very broad. It covers every single thing. And that's what actually philosophy also does. See, actually speaking, the word philosophy in English has no correct equivalent word in Sanskrit. You cannot say philosophy is equal to darshana. No, it is not like that. But the closest word can go in Sanskrit, which is to English word philosophy, is darshana. Sometimes anvikshiki, another word that is used for philosophy. Sometimes tattva shastra, tarka shastra, tattva jnana. All these terms are also used to mean philosophy. But the word that we often use is darshana shastra. So darshana means a science which explains to me how to see the truth. About anything and everything. That is called as darshana. So since it helps me to see the truth, it is also called as tattva shastra. Tattva means reality, truth. Science which helps me to see the truth. Darshana, tattva shastra. Now, what is philosophy for? Why should I study philosophy? Why should I study darshana? Because it will give me correct understanding of everything. How to live, how to understand, how to listen. Everything is science and everything will be explained in this darshana philosophy. What is the purpose of this darshana? So generally when we are speaking of now we are going towards more what we say technical aspect of darshana. Darshana also refers to school of philosophy, a tradition that has started. Right? There are different schools of philosophy. All of them will be called as darshanas. All of them we will be studying. So what is the purpose of these darshanas? What are these schools of philosophy going towards? What is the result in their mind that they want to pursue, they want to attain? So we say the purpose of darshana shastra is purushartha siddhi. Attainment of Purushartha. What do you mean by Purushartha? Purushartha generally is fourfold Purushartha that we speak of: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. To attain Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, what is to be done? That will be explained in Darshana. So, purpose of Darshana Shastra is Purushartha Siddhi. In that Purushartha also, the ultimate Purushartha is Moksha. Therefore, all the Darshanas are actually going towards Moksha only. Now, in different schools of philosophy, their concepts of Moksha may be different. Please note. Right? But they all want Moksha. Moksha means liberation. How do you define liberation in Vedanta Shastra? We give definition of liberation as Atyantika Dukkha Nivrittihi Paramananda Praptischa. What is Moksha? Atyantika Dukkha Nivrittihi. Nivritti means annihilation, destruction. Atyantika, total. Total annihilation of dukkha, of sorrow. Paramananda Prapti, attainment of supreme bliss. That is what is termed as moksha. Now, as we start seeing different schools of philosophy, we will understand what is their concept of attainment of joy. What do they consider as joy? That may differ. But the basic definition in Vedanta Shastra we give of moksha, mukti is this. So, darshana is Tattva Shastra, it shows me the truth, and it is also Moksha Shastra. It is intended to give me liberation. Now, in Darshana, the base of Darshana is called Triputi. The three things. What are those three things? See, we are talking everything about knowledge. Knowledge. And therefore, when we are talking about this knowledge, the three things related to knowledge become the base for darshana. What are those three things? Number one, the knower. Number two, the object of knowledge. And number three, the means of knowledge. When it comes to knowledge, these three things are involved. I will give you example, simple way you will understand. What is this? This is a watch. This is a watch. Now, this knowledge happened, no? This is a watch. How it happened? This is object of knowledge. This is the subject of knowledge, the knower. And I saw through my eyes. So, eyes will become the means of knowledge, which will connect the knower to the object of knowledge. Now, same thing, we will use Sanskrit words. Knowledge is translated in Sanskrit as prama. I am purposely not translating it as jnana. There is a reason. That reason we will see in the next session when we go to pramana, vichara, etc. When we think about the means of knowledge, we will understand why jnana and prama, what is the difference, etc. But the point is what? Knowledge means prama, correct knowledge. Now, for that prama to happen, that knowledge to happen, there should be pramata, knower. There should be prameya, object of knowledge. And there should be pramana, means of knowledge. Pramata, knower, subject. Prameya, object of knowledge. Pramana, means of knowledge. Now, these three things are base for darshanas. Now, different schools of philosophy that we will be seeing may focus on different aspects. For example, Nyaya school that we will be seeing focuses on pramana. Sankhya school focuses on prameya. Vedanta school focuses on pramata. So, their focus may be on different, but they will discuss about all these. Pramata, prameya and pramana. And of course, when these three things are there, different questions come about these three things. For example, pramata, when I say I am the knower, exactly who am I? Am I this body? Am I the soul? Is there death to the soul? Or will the soul, or does the soul continue? Now these are all the questions about pramata. All of them will be answered in darshanas. About prameya, prameya means world. Who created this world? How can there be so much of diversity but still everything is happening according to the plan? Is there God? Did he create the world? Where is that God? What is the supreme reality? Everything related, all these questions are about the prameya. Now similarly about pramana also there are questions. What are the correct means for knowledge? Can the verbal testimony, shabda, be the correct means? Is the perception only means of knowledge? All these kind of different questions about pramata, subject, prameya, object and pramana means are answered in darshanas. Now, these darshanas have many things in common. There may be different schools and their concepts about all these things may be different, but they will have something in common. And what is that? See, all the darshanas are practically oriented. What do you mean by practically oriented? Means they are not just gimmicks of intellect. They not only tell us what it is, but they also tell us what is to be done. Practically oriented. Then these darshanas are also arising from a kind of what we call as disquiet, that I am not happy in the present state, and therefore out of that discomfort that I am facing, I start thinking, and that's how a darshana is developed. Most of the times it is spiritual disquiet that gives rise to a darshana. Right? All the darshanas, as I told earlier also, their main purpose is moksha. So they are not just going anywhere, they are all going towards moksha. But as I told, they may have different concepts of moksha. That's okay. But they are all going towards moksha. So like this, there are certain things which are common. Now, we will try to understand these different schools of philosophy. This much basic understanding is sufficient. Now, about philosophy also when we speak, we have to understand that it is a meta-discipline. Meta-discipline means what? It gives me a step behind every step. For example, what physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, botany, mathematics is telling me, a step behind it will be philosophy. This much is to be understood. Okay, so they may, physics, chemistry, etc. may explain me the rules of the world. Philosophy will not address those questions. Philosophy will tell me why such rules are there. Who is the one who is governing those rules? So it is, so to say, one step before it. In the Western world also, philosophy is defined as a critical examination of our most general and abstract claims. Even if you don't understand this, it is okay. I am just mentioning it because the topic has come. They say a critical examination. Critical examination makes it very clear that it's a very methodical science, and it is not just descriptive but prescriptive. It tells me what I should do. Critical examination of most general and abstract claims. General means it is not going to talk about one particular thing. It is not, philosophy is not going to tell me when you see the brain has two main parts. The left part is called as this, right? That is biology. That is the job of biology. Philosophy will not explain me that. But general claims, why do people behave like this? And abstract claims, it's not something that we can catch. The philosophy will always talk about such things. Right? With this much of introduction. Now we will see in detail, or rather an overview of all the darshanas, different schools of philosophy. All of them will differ in some aspects with other, and that's why there are different schools. Mainly what they investigate into are three topics called as Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. Jiva, the individual, Jagat, the world, Ishvara is God. Now, all these schools of philosophy will have different ideas about Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, and that's how they differ. Right? Now, in Indian traditions, in Bharatiya Darshana Paddhati, in the Indian philosophical schools of philosophy, the main classification, there are different ways of classification, but the one that we are going to see now, that all the schools of philosophy are mainly classified into two branches. One is called as Astika Dashana and another is called as Nastika Dashana. Astika means asti iti bhavaha, those who say yes it is. Nastika means those who say no, it is not. Now, all of us know this. Whenever we use the word astika, nastika, we immediately connect it to God. Those who believe in God are astikas. Those who don't believe in God are atheists, nastika. That's how we say, isn't it? But that's not how this classification is. This classification is based on the darshana, the schools of philosophy who consider Vedas to be the final authority, or not final authority, let us say authority, are called as aastika darshanas. So those schools of philosophy who say that Vedas exist and they are authoritative, those darshanas are called as aastika darshanas. And then the other nastika darshanas means what? Those who say that Vedas are there but they are not authoritative. We don't accept them as authority. We have our own concepts or our own texts that we consider as authority. Then those schools, those darshanas are called as nastika darshanas. Please remember, this is not related to the existence of God. Not that all the astika darshanas will have belief in God. Not that all the nastika darshanas will not believe in God. Nothing. We are not talking about Ishvara. We are talking whether Veda is authoritative in their view or not. If they consider Veda to be authoritative, they are astika darshana. If they don't consider Veda to be authoritative, they are nastika darshana. Right? Now, let us first see the nastika darshanas. In nastika darshanas, 6 schools of philosophy we are going to see. The first one are called as, the school of philosophy is called as Charvaka philosophy. Other name for this Charvaka philosophy is Lokayata philosophy, Lokayata darshana, Lokayata. What is this Charvaka? Charvaka word also means Charu Vak. Vak means speech, Charu means sweet. Their philosophy is very flowery philosophy, very nice to hear. Why? Because it satisfies my desire. What is the philosophy? The philosophy says, whatever I see is the only truth. Over, topic, close. Whatever I see is the only truth means what? Vedas are telling that there is heaven and hell. Have you seen heaven or hell? No. Have I seen it? No. It is not there. It is not there. Vedas will tell that there is rebirth. The jiva along with subtle body will go and take up the new embodiment. Vedas will say, have you seen jiva going and taking new embodiment? No, it is not there. Rebirth is not there. So therefore what you should do, see, we saw that every philosophy will put me into action. What you should do? They say, yavat jivet, sukham jivet. As long as you live, you enjoy. Rinam kritva ghritam pibet. And for enjoyment, Even if you have to take loan from somewhere, you take. Don't worry about paying it back. Why? Basmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. Once the body is burnt, it's not going to come back. So what? So loot. You do whatever you want. Enjoy. Eat, drink and be merry. Is the philosophy of Charvaka. You enjoy. This philosophy is there means what? There were people following this. And not that there are people following this. To tell you a secret, we also follow this philosophy sometimes. Don't be alarmed. Don't think that now we are all Vedantis. Many times we think like this only. Who has thought about future? Let me enjoy now. The moment we think like this, we are following Charvaka philosophy. Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. Ranam kritva, ghritam pivet. Ranam kritva means you take loan. Ghritam pivet, but I will eat with ghee only. If I don't have money, I will steal it from somewhere. But I eat only with ghee. I will enjoy. Charvaka philosophy. I told you it will sound very nice. Are majjama. Relax and live now what is there. In all our regional languages, there is word for such thing. In Gujarati, majjama. In Goan language, they will say sussegad. Sussegad. You live, enjoy. What is there? That is. So that is the first philosophy of Nastika Dashana. Nastika Dashana, so they don't believe that Veda is authority, okay? And that's why they don't believe in whatever Veda is telling. Veda is telling there is Punarjanma, they don't believe. Veda is saying there is Ishvara. There are other things that are beyond your perception also which are there, heaven, hell, etc. They don't believe. Nastika Dashana. First is Charvaka, also called as Lokayata. Now, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next 4 schools are actually Buddha schools of philosophy. All 4 of them are arising from Gautam Buddha's teachings. I don't think that Gautam Buddha actually started these 4 schools. No. He gave teaching, different people understood it differently and they created different schools out of it. Okay. That's the point. It's not that Gautam Buddha started these 4 schools, these 4 darshanas. Okay. So there are, in Gautam Buddha's teaching also, generally the teaching is divided into 2, Hinayana and Mahayana. Okay, lot of information again will be there for those who have never heard about it. So Hinayana, Mahayana, these are the 2 main branches they speak in Buddhism and in Bauddhic philosophy. And in Bauddha philosophy, this Hinayana has got 2 schools in it. Vaisheshika and Sautrantika. Vaisheshika and Sautrantika. So second school is Vaisheshika school of philosophy. And third school is Sautrantika. First is Charvaka, okay? In Nastika Dashana, first is Charvaka. In Buddha school, Vaisheshika first one and Sautrantika. What is this Vaisheshika school saying? Vaisheshika school says, Sarva Asti. Everything is there. Everything is real. It is also called as Bahyartha Pratyakshavada. Sarva Asti Vada. Everything is there. So objects that are seen by me by perception are there. Vaisheshika school. So everything is there. Now their entire school will be based on this basic principle. Okay. If everything is there, then all other things will come. But they are not like Charvaka. They will not say that you do whatever you want and loot but you enjoy. No. They will say there is some order which is required. That way they are different from Charvaka. Right? Vaisheshika. Sautrantika says that actually the objects that I am seeing are not real, but are inferred by me. So they say, Bahya Artha Anumeya Vada. Bahya Artha means outside objects. Anumeya means inference. So their entire Vada, their theory is based on the objects being inferred by me, not perceived by me. See the difference between Vaisheshika and Sautrantika. Vaisheshika says that objects are real and I perceive them. Bahyartha Pratyakshavada. Vaibhashika. Sautrantika says that objects are there real, but I don't perceive them. I don't have capacity for that. I infer them. My mind infers it. Both of them come under Hinayana of Bauddha philosophy. Then in Mahayana branch, the third school of Bauddha is Yogaachara. Yogaachara. Also famously called as Vijnanavada. Vijnanavada. What do they say? They say that objects of the world are actually not there. It is a thought that is creating these objects. Actually speaking, what we see is a thought, not objects. That's their concept. Yogaachara, school's name is Yogaachara. Their theory is called as Vijnanavada. Sometimes those who have studied other texts of Vedanta will also remember Kshanika Vijnanavada is one of the sub-branch of this, who say that the momentary conscious thought is the reality. So objects are not real, my thought is real. So what I see is not object. So you see difference, okay? This is watch. Now, Vaibhashika school will say that this watch is real and I am perceiving it through my eyes. Sautrantika school will say this watch is real, but I am not perceiving it, I am inferring it. I don't know actually. I don't have capacity to actually perceive anything of the world. I am inferring it. I think. Yogaachara school will say what you are seeing is not watch, but is a thought of a watch. So objects are not real. That thought is real, which is about that object, which is unreal object. That thought is what you see and you think that the object is real. Vijnanavada. I had told you before, we are going to become technical, okay? Fourth school in Bauddha philosophy is called as Madhyamika. 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 What is otherwise the theory which is very famously called as Shunyavada. It says nothing is there. Objects are also not there. Thought is also not there. Nothing is real. Everything is just void. Shunya. This is the philosophy. Okay. Now, all these philosophies are very much advanced philosophies in the sense that they have their own texts written on it, and they have their own followers, and they have pursued, and they give what we say analysis of all the things that we generally see in a Shastra. Okay. So, Charvaka, first Nastika Dashana, second, third, fourth, fifth are in Bauddha school. Correct? In that second is Vaibhashika, third is Sautrantika, both of them come under Hinayana. Then next is Yogaachara, fourth is Madhyamika, third and fourth come under Mahayana of Bauddha philosophy. Right? So we have seen so far 5 Nastika Darshanas. The sixth one is called as Jaina Darshana. Jain philosophy. What is this? Another name for Jaina philosophy is also is Arhata Darshana. Arhata. This Jaina word, Jaina itself comes from Jina. Jina means one who has won over. Jita is called as Jina in their language also. So Jaina philosophy is what actually? Jaina philosophy is very interesting. In all schools of philosophy, this is the most interesting philosophy in a sense that they accept everything. They say maybe. They have a concept called as Saptabhangi. What do you mean they accept everything? So Vaibhashika says that objects are real. They will say maybe objects are real. They will just add that word maybe before it. Maybe it is like this. Then Sautrantika says that no, objects are real, but you are not seeing it by perception, you are seeing it by inference. Maybe you are seeing it by inference. Then Vijnanavada will say, no, your objects are not real, your thought is real, you are not seeing object, you are seeing thought. Yes, maybe we are seeing the thought. So actually they are not opposing anything. Syat. In Sanskrit they will say Syat. Maybe it is like that. May it be like that, how does it matter? Actually, all these darshanas, different schools are analyzed very beautifully by this Jaina school. Why? Because they don't take any side, you see. Generally, I am writing something about other school, my school will always be overpowering, isn't it? I will be perceiving other schools also from my school, what I believe in. This Jain, because they don't have their own perfect stand. Actually, their stand is that they don't stand for anything. And they say everything is possible. What you say? Correct, possible. Asti syat, nasti syat, asti nyasti syat, everything is syat. Syat means maybe it is like that. So in this way, these are 6 nastika darshanas. Charvaka, Vaisheshika, Sautrantika, Yogachara, Madhyamika and Jaina. These 6 schools of philosophy don't believe in Veda to be authoritative. Please remember, they believe in Veda. They say that there is a text called Veda, but they don't consider it as authority. That's the difference. They don't say that just because it is said in Veda you should do. That they refuse. Now we come to Astika Dashana. Astika Darshanas are those schools of philosophy who believe that Veda is there and it is authoritative. Now again 6 schools of philosophy we are going to see in this. Okay. So the 6 schools are Nyaya Vaisheshika. Nyaya Vaisheshika. Write it like pairs only. Nyaya Vaisheshika is one pair. Two schools of philosophy but form a pair. Nyaya Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika. First Shankarasha, then Shanmukasha. Vaisheshika. Nyaya Vaisheshika. Yoga Sankhya. Yoga and Sankhya. And Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. These are the 6 schools of Astika Darshanas. Nyaya Vaisheshika, Yoga Sankhya or Sankhya Yoga, and Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. 6. Now let us understand first each school and then we will see why we are putting it in the pair, etc. Now Nyaya. Nyaya is the first philosophy. Nyaya means, okay, let me go like this now. First 4 philosophies in Astika Darshanas are also called as Nyayikas overall. Together called as Nyayikas. So Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, 4 of them put together are sometimes called as Nyayikas, means logicians. And the later 2, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, are called as Mimamsakas. What is the difference? All 6 schools believe that Veda is authoritative. But first 4 schools, they say Veda is secondary authority. Primary authority is your logic. Or rather logic. No need to say your. Logic is the primary authority. Veda is the secondary authority. So they will put more emphasis on logic and will support their logic by Vedic statements. Understand the basic difference. Okay. So Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya together called as Nyayikas. They consider Veda as secondary. Veda is authority, but secondary authority, not the primary, not the main authority. Whereas for Mimamsakas, Veda is the main authority, primary authority. Even in the Mimamsakas. Now you see Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. Why that distinction? Simple. Because Vedas are divided into two sections, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda section. So those who say Karma Kanda section of Veda is the main authority, they are called as Purva Mimamsa. Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, two sections of Veda. Those who say the first section, Karma Kanda section is the main authority, is the main section, they are called as Purva Mimamsa. Sometimes this Purva Mimamsa only is called as Mimamsa. And those who say Jnana Kanda section, Upanishad section of the Vedas is the main authority, they are called as Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara means the second half, the second section of Veda being the main authority. They are called as Uttara Mimamsa school, or what is famously called as Vedanta. This Uttara Mimamsa itself is Vedanta school. And Purva Mimamsa is called as Mimamsa school. So don't get confused. Sometimes they will say Mimamsa. Mimamsa means Purva Mimamsa. Vedanta means Uttara Mimamsa. Sometimes they will say Nyayikas. Nyayikas means it can be from any of the first four schools. It can be from Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, any of these schools. Clear? Got the picture of the Astika Dashana? Now, let us go into it. Why these pairs are made? Why Nyaya, Vaisheshika together? Because as I told earlier, their focus is different. All of them are investigating into Pramata, Prameya, Pramana. But for Nyaya, the focus is on Pramana. So, when Nyaya school investigates, their main focus remains on Pramana, focus on logic, focus on means of knowledge. Lot of discussion is there on means of knowledge. According to them, there are four means of knowledge that we will see in the next session anyways, in the Pramana Vichara, right? But most of what we are going to see in Pramana Vichara is given by Nyaya. Because they are logicians, you see, everything is logic, and they have done thorough investigation in the section of Pramanas. Mainly, okay, that doesn't mean they have not investigated into other things, but focus is on Pramana. Vaisheshika focus is on Prameya, the world object of knowledge. Vaisheshika, the name is given to them Vaisheshika because they speak of Vishesha as a different Padartha. So, I don't want to go too much technical, but each of these schools will speak of different Padarthas. How many basic Padarthas, basic ingredients of the world. What are the basic ingredients? So, they will give list of them. Now, this Vaisheshika is a very special because they give a special Padartha, and that special is Vishesha. The name of that Padartha itself they give as Vishesha, and therefore from that Vishesha word is formed Vaisheshika. So Vaisheshika philosophy will investigate more into Prameya. What we have to also understand is all these different schools of philosophy coexisted before and they are coexisting even now. And therefore there is lot of transaction of ideas that happens in between these philosophies. Means what? Vaisheshika, when it comes to Pramana Vichara, they will easily take concepts from Nyaya school. When Nyaya school has to take up something related to the Prameya, they will easily take it from Vaisheshika school. Okay, why? Because you have investigated into it more, so I will take it. I agree. Whatever I agree, I take it. Whatever I don't agree, I put my views about it. That's how the darshanas are made. Whatever I accept from other philosophies, I take it as it is. Wherever I have difference of opinion, that I state it, and that's how it becomes a different school of philosophy. But wherever there are different topics only, one is investigating into Pramana, another is investigating into Prameya, there is a clear Adana Pradana, we say, transaction of ideas between the philosophies. So Nyaya Vaisheshika paired together, both give importance to logic, but both are investigating into different fields. Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Now Yoga Sankhya is the next pair. Yoga very famous, Yoga Sutras are very famous. All these. So Yoga is what? Now why Yoga and Sankhya are done together? Because Yoga gives the practical aspect and Sankhya gives the theoretical aspect. That's why they are paired together. So Yoga, when it gives practical aspect, whenever it comes to theory, it will take concepts from Sankhya. And Sankhya will give theory, for practical aspect it will take concepts from Yoga. Okay, see, I am giving a very broad overview of all these, okay. In each of them, there are lots of things, okay. So don't catch me by neck that you said, like, I have to say what is in general, okay. When we study one darshana in depth, we will see so many new facets coming about it, right? But at the basic level, this much understanding is what is required. So Yoga Sutras, Yoga Darshana will give more importance on the practical aspect. So Ashtanga Yoga, no? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These steps is what constitutes this Yoga Darshana. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, very famous. And then Sankhya is what? Sankhya is a theoretical branch. So Sankhya, what does it do? It analyzes everything and it puts everything in number. Sankhya means number. And therefore the school is called as Sankhya. Means what? The analysis of course is of Prameya, no doubt about it. But that also Prameya, they will put everything into numbers. So there are 24 elements, 24 what we say, Chaturvimshati Padartha they will say, and then these are the 24, then body is made up of 7 dhatus, then 5 koshas, then this, that, everything in number. Right? This is what is speciality of Sankhya. So everything is analyzed, Prameya is analyzed and put it into numbers. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, like that. Sankhya school. Theory. Because everything is counted and therefore the name Sankhya has come. All 4 Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, all 4 of them, they say logic is the primary authority. Veda is the secondary authority. Now we come to Purva Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa is those who consider Karmakanda section of Vedas to be the final authority. Sometimes they are also called as Mimamsa itself. So of course, since their focus is on Karmakanda, they will say the purpose is what? Do Dharma. Dharma aspect of the Veda is given more prominence. So for them, action is everything. Everything can be gained by action. Whatever what you want, you have to perform action, then only you will get. Moksha, for that also you have to perform action. And that is where it will contradict with Uttar Mimamsa. Because Uttar Mimamsa will emphasize on Jnana. What will it say? It will say that moksha is gained by knowledge, not by action. That's Vedanta philosophy. So Jnana Kanda section of the Veda is considered to be the primary authority. Understand? Purva Mimamsa, also called as Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa, also called as Vedanta. Now, this Vedanta is further divided into many branches, sub-branches we can say. Some of those branches we will see today. Vedanta, you understood the basic concept that the what we say, primary source of authority is Jnana-kanda section of Vedas, which is the Upanishad section. Right? So whatever is said there is the final truth. Now, whatever logic follows the scriptural injunctions is the correct logic. Please see the difference. Naiyayikas will say that logic is main. You find Upanishadic source, Vedic source to support that logic. Whereas Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa say primary source of authority is Vedic mantras. So Karmakanda mantra or Jnanakanda mantra, they are primary. Now your logic has to be in line with those scriptural injunctions, with those scriptural statements. So Shruti Anusarini Yukti. Shruti means Vedas, Anusarini means that which follows, Yukti means logic. Logic that follows the scripture, the Vedas, is the correct logic. So Shruti is main first authority, Yukti, logic, is secondary authority for Vedanta also. And in that Shruti also, Upanishad, what it says is the final authority, not the Karmakanda section. Okay, now in this Vedanta, what are the different branches, different sub-branches, sub-schools of Vedanta? There are many. Advaita Vedanta, Vishishta Advaita Vedanta, Dvaita Vedanta, Shuddha Advaita Vedanta, Dvaita Advaita Vedanta, Bheda Advaita, Achintya Bheda Bheda, etc. etc. Okay, these are different schools within Vedanta. Okay, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, etc. So we'll come to that. Now, all these schools of philosophy, right from Charvaka up to Vedanta, so all 6 Nastika Darshanas, all 6 Astika Dashana, they will have their own texts explaining their philosophy. Okay, and commentaries on them, etc. etc. will be there. Now for Astika Dashana, 6 schools, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa. For them, there is a structure. And what is the structure? The structure is that each of the school has got the primary text called Sutra. So, Nyaya Sutra, Vaisheshika Sutra. Sutra means a formula, basically. So, a text written in small formula, giving the philosophy, explaining that philosophy, is called as Sutra Grantha. Okay, so we have Nyaya Sutra, Vaisheshika Sutra, Yoga Sutra, of course, is famous, Sankhya Sutra, Mimamsa Sutra, of course, and Vedanta Sutra, which is called as Brahma Sutra. So all these different sutras are there. There are people who have started that school of philosophy by writing the sutra. So they are called as Sutrakara. Sutrakara, one who has written sutra of that philosophy. That also you can write. Gautama is the sutra. So I am going to tell. So first, let us not go to names first. So each darshana, Astika Dashana, will have their primary text as sutra. And there will be commentary on that primary text, which is called as Bhashya, commentary. Together it becomes a school of philosophy, Darshana. Okay, so for Nyaya Darshana, first one is Nyaya Darshana, Sutrakara is Gautama. Gautama Muni has written Sutra on Nyaya. And Bhashyakara is Vatsyayana. Vatsyayana. Vatsyayana is a Bhashyakara. Nyaya. Second is Vaisheshika. For Vaisheshika, Sutrakara is Kanada. Kanada Rishi. And Bhashyakara is Prashastapada. Prashastapada. Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Third is Yoga Sutra. Everybody knows the name. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So Patanjali is the Sutrakara. And Vyasa, Vedavyasa is the Bhashyakara. So on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he has written Bhashya. This Patanjali Rishi is a great personality. Okay, don't take it lightly. Okay, Patanjali Rishi has also written Mahabhashya on Vyakarana. On Ashtadhyayi of Panini, Mahabhashya is written by this Patanjali. Patanjali Rishi. Sankhya Sutrakara is Kapila. Who is this Kapila? The same Kapila, okay, from Bhagavata. Kapila Vasudeva, one of the avatars of Vishnu, who taught to his mother Devahuti, and that is the Sankhya Darshana. It is also explained in Bhagavata. But we don't have Bhashya for this Sankhya Darshana. And this Sankhya Darshana is also considered to be the oldest Darshana among the Astika and Nastika-darshanas. So Sankhya. Mimamsa, the Sutrakara is Jaimini Maharshi. He was a disciple of Vedavyasa, Jaimini Maharshi. And Bhashyakara is Shabara, very famous text, Shabara Bhashya. Shabara Muni. Now coming to Vedanta, Sutrakara is of course Bhagavan Sri Vedavyasa, who has written Brahma Sutra. Now Bhashyakara is who? So the first Bhashyakara is Shankaracharya ji, who has given Advaita Vedanta. Then of course there is Ramanujacharya ji, who has given Vishishta Advaita, and Madhvacharya ji, who has given Dvaita. These are the sections, these are sub branches of Vedanta only, isn't it? So there are different bhashyas. So for each sub branch also they have to write commentary on their Sutra Grantha. So on Brahma Sutra, rather not just on, for Vedanta, there are 3 texts. Of course, Sutra, Brahma Sutra is there, but with that there is Upanishad also, which is considered to be the primary authority. So 10 main Upanishads, which are analyzed in Brahma Sutra by Vedavyasa, one has to write commentary on those 10 major Upanishads, main Upanishads. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitareya, Taitareya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka, etc. These 10 Upanishads, any Vedantic school of philosophy, when they have to put for their school, they have to write commentary on Brahma Sutra, but at the same time, they have to write commentary on these 10 Upanishads, and they also have to write commentary on Bhagavad Gita. They are called as Prasthanatraya. The Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra together becomes Prasthanatraya, and on these 3 main texts, we have commentaries of Shankaracharya ji, Ramanujacharya ji, Madhvacharya ji, etc. That's how within Vedanta there are these sub branches. Just I'll give just a glimpse into how this distinction is made. In Advaita school, we say, I am one with the Supreme. So there is a Dvaita, there is no duality, non-duality. I am that Supreme. In Vishishta Advaita, qualified non-duality, what do they say? They say, I am not that Supreme, I am part of that Supreme. Ramanujacharya's philosophy is, so Supreme is full, I am part of it. And Dvaita philosophy says, I am different, that Supreme is different, and I have to worship that Supreme. Dvaita, there is duality, that is different, this is different, but I have to worship, I have to serve. That's the Madhvacharya's Dvaita school. Of course, there are other schools also, Shuddha Dvaita, which is of Vallabhacharya, Dvaita Dvaita of Nimbarkacharya, and then Achintya Bheda Veda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are different schools. Okay, but you see, the most prominent of all these philosophies, whatever we have seen, whether Nastika Dashana or Astika Dashana, arguably, let me put like this, arguably the most prominent and which is practiced maximum now is Advaita Vedanta, which we are going to study in coming days. Okay, which is the philosophy that Shankaracharya ji propounded. Don't say that Shankaracharya ji started the philosophy, okay, because he is not the Sutrakara. It was there, Vedavyasa ji wrote Brahma Sutra, Vedanta was there, Advaita Vedanta was there, but he was the one, you can say, as the face of that philosophy. There are so many great acharyas who came before him also. Shankaracharya ji's guru was Govinda Bhagavad Padacharya. His guru has written Karikas, Gauda Padacharya. He has written Karikas, shlokas on Mandukya Upanishad, which is clear Advaita Vedanta. And of course, he is in that same parampara, no? That's why Shankaracharya also is Advaita Vedanta. Okay? So, this is just a overview of Darshana. We understood what are Darshanas, we understood what is the concept of philosophy, Darshana Shastra as Shastra, what does it do, what are the common features, what is the purpose. Then we saw the two branches, Nastika Dashana, Astika Dashana, those who consider Veda as authority, those who don't. Then in Nastika Dashana we saw 6 schools, Charvaka, then 4 schools of Buddha and Jaina, such 6 schools we saw. In Astika Dashana also, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya considered as Nyayikas, who consider Yukti, logic to be the primary authority, Shruti, Veda to be the secondary authority, and the last two, Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, were called as Mimamsakas. They consider Veda to be the main authority. In Purva Mimamsa also we saw Karmakanda section is considered to be the main authority. In Uttar Mimamsa, Vedanta Shastra, Vedanta Darshana, we considered Jnana Kanda, Upanishad section as the main authority. Now, based on the Upanishadic teaching itself, these different sub-branches of Vedanta are also there. Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita, Dvaita-Advaita, Bhava-Advaita, Shuddha-Advaita, and Bheda-Advaita, so many are. Achintya Veda, etc. Okay? They look at the world differently. They look at the scriptures differently. They bring out scriptural meaning in a different way. That's why they are different schools. Okay? This is the overview of Darshana Shastra. Now, in the next session, in the coming weekend, Sunday, we will see concept of pramana. What are the pramanas? What are the pramanas that are accepted by different schools of philosophy? And in Vedanta, of course, because that is our going to be the focus. So in Advaita Vedanta, what pramanas do we accept? That we will see in the next class. We will conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.